Hello, welcome to Country Stitchers. I'm Liz.
Hello, I'm Deb.
We are well underway in our summers.
Yes.
And it's the middle of July. And we got ready for our summers. Deb went to the Outer Banks and I went on a safari, which we will tell you about our summers. But first, we did get some new jewelry from Ana Luisa, and we want to share that with you.
Yes, we want to share our new pieces with you just in case you need some extra fun jewelry for the summer. Yeah, some bling, lots of weddings. I know we have a lot of weddings and things happening, graduation parties, all kinds of fun stuff.
Yes.
So my first piece that I have on my necklace, I don't know if you can see it very well, but it has a little butterfly on it.
It's very cute.
Yeah, this is one of McKenna's favorites. She loves it. So she was wearing this when we were away also on vacation. And it is, I hope I say this correctly, but it's Sourayaz, S-O-U-R-Y-A-Z. And its original price is $59. They are having their sale, their July sale. The other one that I have on, it has like green stones in it, and it's a bar. Very pretty, because
it is. One
of my absolute favorite stones is the emerald. Emerald. And so it just reminds me of, you know.
Yes.
And that was my mom's favorite.
And that's the color green.
That's the color, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
But the green necklace is called Inez Green. And those are my two new pieces.
Very pretty.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else on today?
Oh, and I get a lot of comments on these hoops. They're called Reverso. They are some of my favorites, both of these that I'm wearing, because we love the Suzanne.
Yep.
And I keep those in my second hole. But these Reversos, they are so cool because you have the stones on the front, but then if you can see, they're also on the inside of the back. So that is just, they're
very
so
glamorous.
pretty. Yeah, I get comments all the time on these. Now, I do know these are out of stock right now, but that doesn't mean, you know, keep checking. They'll get back in stock. But I love
those. Are
these.
pretty.
Yeah, love them. And you have on another pair of McKenna's favorite earrings.
I do. These are called He Said Yes.
She said
or
yes.
She said yes. Sorry, he's the one doing the asking. So she said yes. And then I have on some other jewelry. This necklace is Last Chance. It's called Cari, C-A-R-I. And I got this a while ago, and I got a black ring with it, but then I just got a new one, and it goes well with it too.
I was going to say, that looked really sweet together.
It is really nice. It's called Amara, and it's on sale right now for $55.20, I think, under the sale. And I have another ring, and it's called Nicola, and
that's pretty.
Got a really pretty dome on it there. I really like that one. These are a little smaller than I usually get. The actual profile of them is smaller. I wanted to say,
what I have on.
I know it would.
Yeah.
I have a bit of a hand fetish, and I was thinking about it because I always look for rings.
You love rings, yes.
And it reminded me of something. When I was a little girl, my dad would hold my hand all the time, and he had strong hands because he worked a lot outside. But he also had meticulously kept hands because he was in the military. And so I remembered that he used to hold my hands in church and rub them just to keep me from fidgeting.
Oh, okay.
And yet it was such a gentle thing. And I remember thinking about his hands all the time. And I think it got me started to thinking about him. And my mom was a hands-on person. She was a nurse. And she always had her nails done. She always had what do I want to say, moisturized hands. They were very soft because she was always conscious of touching people. And the other thing that I noticed about Mom's hands was that they were cool. Like if I didn't feel well and she would come up and touch me, they were always cool to the touch in that regard. So I think I grew up paying attention to hands, and I still do.
And did your dad wear rings?
He did.
My dad did too.
He did.
And I still have a whole bunch of them. And Logan will like to look through them, and his tie tacks. Yeah, really cool.
Yep. So you'll probably still see more rings, because if I still see rings I like, I'm still going to try them out.
Oh, definitely.
But I also have a bracelet on today. This was called Louise. And I believe Louise and Cari are both on Last Chance.
Okay.
So you might have a shot at getting them if they interest you out on their website.
And we had a lot of people ask for, you know, oh, I wish they had more silver. Well, check out their website.
Yes.
Now, I was so impressed with how much silver now they have.
Yes.
Very, very pretty. I like to mix silver and gold.
Yes. I am not a 100% one or
me
the other
neither.
person.
No, but they do have a lot more beautiful silver pieces.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
very, very pretty.
if you've watched our videos before, you know that we're ambassadors for Ana Luisa, and we really respect their business. We respect their manufacturing process. They're very, very conscientious about the footprint that they leave with carbon, and they have a great customer service program. You have a year guarantee on your items when you buy them. So just all the way around, we encourage you, if you haven't been out to visit, or if you have and you need to revisit, please use the link in our description box and go visit Ana Luisa.
Yeah, and thanks for sending us the pictures when you do purchase something. That's always interesting to see what it is people are picking.
It is. So we were going to continue to chat about our summer because I took a safari, which I actually was sidelined on the safari part, but I heard about it. And Deb went to the Outer Banks, so we were like in two completely different environments over the...
This is the first time we've been together.
Yep.
For over a week.
Yes. We're going through withdrawals.
Yeah, I know. Yes, yes. But yes, we went away on a family vacation, and I've gotten so many questions on Instagram because I was showing some pictures of our vacation, and Matt is the oldest of 5 boys. So there was 27 of us in the same house.
That's amazing.
And yes, we all get along. And it was 2 babies and a dog. And I mean, it was a big 10-bedroom house right on the beach. It was on the 4x4 beach, which, oh my word, is that fun. You can't get to the house unless you have a 4-wheel drive vehicle. And oh my word, that was like a roller coaster ride. It was so much fun. And it just, everybody had their own sleeping, you know, I mean, we were definitely spread out nicely. There's a theater, a home theater.
I thought that was cool.
Oh my gosh.
Did you know about that, obviously, before you went?
Yeah, but I mean, you're there and it's just so cool. They had this popcorn machine. It was theater seating. And the really neat thing about that was, we didn't know this, but Matt's youngest brother is a Marine. And I can remember Logan was about 2.5, maybe, not quite 3. And Sammy was... we wanted to send a video to Sammy because he had been deployed, and Sam brought that video.
Oh, fun.
And we all piled into the theater and watched that again, and it is so cute. Logan is like waving his little flag.
And he's how old at the time?
Like not even 3. McKenna and Maddie, they were sitting next to each other on the piano bench. McKenna and her cousin Madison, they're only 6 weeks apart. Madison was playing the piano and McKenna was singing Jesus Loves Me. We were all laughing and crying, and everybody had such a blast watching it. And then the newest cousins and stuff, you know, that aren't even in the video, they loved seeing
I'll bet
their older cousins when they were little. I mean, it was just, oh my gosh, what a moment.
Yeah.
That was just so much fun. Matt's parents are crying. I mean, it was great. We had so many amazing moments. McKenna brought her camera because she does photography on the side. We all got some beautiful family pictures. Everybody, we just had a ball. Everybody got along. It was hands down best vacation ever.
I knew you were busy when I didn't hear much from you. I thought, I hope her day is full from the time she gets up to the time she goes to bed.
It was. And there's wild horses there.
Really?
That run everywhere, that you wake up in the morning and they're right there grazing like a few feet from you. Right. I mean, it is. Oh, Zeb was out fishing one day and these horses were running in the water, in the surf, just towards him. He didn't see it until last moment. I guess Matt yelled something and all of a sudden they were there. He just stayed there fishing. They went under his line. But we got the best picture.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Beautiful, beautiful picture. That was so cool to see those horses. We had a ball. And guess who was in the water more than anybody else? Even out of kids, out of everybody. Who would you think would be in the water?
Who would I think?
Well.
Or who would I not think would?
Who do you not think?
Shelby.
Matt.
He was out in the water.
He didn't get out of the water. He was worse than any kid. He discovered he loves boogie boarding.
Oh, cool.
Oh my gosh. He would
Is
get
that
up.
the first time he's ever tried it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had bought these boogie boards before we left, and I only got 2 because I got one for Logan and Connor. McKenna's kind of like, yeah, I don't know if I want to go out in the ocean. And Matt, he doesn't even like to swim. He honestly can't swim that well. So I didn't get one for him. But these are like really
Fast
nice,
forward that part, man.
big boogie boards, like really nice ones. And so he goes out there and tries it. Well, then that was it. It was all week. He boogie boarded. He would get up in the morning before the sun came up. He'd go fish for a few hours. He'd set up our place on the beach. You know, we had like 2 big tents, and you know, you set up like your camping area on the beach. He'd set all that up and have it up by 8 o'clock. We'd all head down to the beach. He was down. I mean, nobody came home until it was time to get dinner ready.
Cool.
I mean, you could walk back to the house to go to the bathroom or use the pool or anything like that, but yeah,
He stayed.
he would walk around asking people, who wants to boogie board? Who wants to boogie board? Anybody getting in with me? Anybody coming? Oh my gosh. And then all of them were out there one time, all the brothers, as many cousins as possible. They were all out there, right? This big group. And we were sitting in the back, the sister-in-laws, and we were kind of like just chit-chatting and talking. And we look up, and all of them are coming out at once.
Really?
All at once. And we're like, what the heck is going on? Where are they going? What are they doing? There was a shark.
Oh, I was thinking jellyfish maybe moved in. Shark, that would get you out of the water.
There was a shark. And they all got out fine and everything. But it was not huge, but it was big enough to scare them all.
Yeah. It wasn't just there to see the
But
toes.
watching them all come out at once was like, wait, what's going on?
Who blew the whistle?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
we
no,
had a
I was
ball.
thinking, I know Shelby loves to sit on the beach.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if she got in the water or
No,
not. So I
she
was
didn't get
thinking
in the
maybe she
water.
was the person. But
No, but everybody has such a great time.
I never
And
thought about Matt because with you having the pool, I just figured he was a water fish, you know?
No. Mm-mm.
That's fun.
No. This was it was hilarious. I mean, McKenna kept going around going, that is not my dad. That is, you know.
Now, was the beach the kind where the water stays shallow for a long? Was it like a Gulf
Yeah,
beach?
it was. Yeah, it's some pretty good waves, but yes, it was not something that
Okay.
had a lot.
So you had a good.
It was
like
nice.
boogie boarding. You had a long area that you weren't on deep water. That you were. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
I'll bet it was.
And the water was clear. Now we had a storm the first day we were there, and so that churned up a lot of stuff. But then you give it a day and a half later, whatever, and it was beautiful.
Oh, nice.
It was so pretty. You could see all the way down to your feet. It was beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was so much fun. We all chose a night to do dinner, so you only had one night where you had to do dinner, you know, because between us sister-in-laws and Matt's mom, that was every night. And then the last night we were there, everybody kind of did their own thing. They either stayed and had leftovers, which there weren't many. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
We did really good on food. And other people just went out. You know, so it was so much fun.
That
oh
is
my goodness. So now we're picking our next place.
Cool.
Yeah, where we want to go. But yeah, it was great.
That is neat.
And
Very
you?
foreign to me not having any big family or lots of relatives around when
Oh my
I grew
gosh,
up. We didn't
played
grow up
so
with
many
them.
games.
Yeah.
Oh, so much fun. With there's 25 of us playing Whisper Down the Lane.
Okay. Oh, wow.
All ages. Can you imagine what that ended? Oh, we were
can't even.
laughing. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. Then we played this one called Fishbowl, which was hilarious. It was just so much fun.
Yeah.
Because we were all gathered in the living room and just having a ball. Oh my goodness.
Deb sent me a few snaps, and one of them that just made me laugh out loud was somebody's idea, and I'm not sure whose it was. I'm thinking maybe McKenna's, but cups with everybody's name on it for the weekend.
Yep.
And they were like plastic, like tumblers.
Yes.
And they were all lined up on the counter, and Deb did this shot with all of them in it, and I just laughed. I thought, what a cool idea. I did t-shirts for our one family reunion. We actually tried to get, but not that many. I mean, there were maybe 13 of us.
Yeah.
And they ranged from babies on up. And I did t-shirts and designed a logo and silk, laser printed it, and then ironed them on. And it was for our reunion, and had the date, and then the older people, the first generation had one color t-shirt, second generation another, and then the third generation another.
Yeah.
That was fun. But cups were great.
So that was my sister-in-law, Chrissy, and
she did that.
She has a Cricut machine, and so she used her Cricut machine, and we all had our names. I should have brought mine down to show you. And then it said OBX 2022. And the reason she did that, and I thought this was so clever, you have that many people
Dishes.
not just that, but you know how people like they'll grab a water bottle or take a few sips and then later it's like, wait, is that mine? Is that yours? You didn't want that.
Yeah.
And so when we had our family meeting a couple weeks before vacation as to who was bringing what meals we were going to have, all that, she brought up these cups that she was going to do for everyone because she said that way you only have one cup. Every person has one cup.
Yep. And you don't have to have a lot of waste, throwaways, or anything.
Nope. You put in it whatever, you carry it around, take it down to the beach, whatever you want to do, but you have one cup, and it worked beautifully.
That's neat.
It was great.
That is neat.
So that was so cool that she did, you know. And then we were teasing her, like, well, I don't want pink. Well, I want that one. Why? She's like, okay.
That is really cool.
It was fun.
Well,
and then I was getting pictures because this one was over here at our house with her family, and it was so fun. I wanted to be in two places at once because you'd send me pictures. I'm like, oh, okay, now I want to go home and swim.
Yeah, we got. Let's see. We came over Monday. Monday was our big day. We brought sandwiches and drinks and everything, and we camped out for the afternoon and into the evening, and we swam and we brought our little Bluetooth speaker and put the XM radio on it, and so we had a great time. Then Tuesday, that was Monday. Tuesday we came back for a swim in the afternoon, I think. And then Wednesday, let's see. Wednesday was our safari. We went to a place in Halifax called Lake Tobias Wild Animal Park Safari, I think it is, if you put it all together. And it was great fun. They had the buses like you take on a safari that are open on the top, and you can feed the animals that come up. And it's like 150 acres, it said.
Okay.
But I had heard mixed things about the way the buses travel and how fast and bumpy the rides are. So I thought, I didn't want to ruin the whole week of vacation by doing something that would make me uncomfortable for the rest of the week. So I let everybody else take the safari, and then I did the zoo tour with everybody, and that was really fun.
Oh, good.
They don't have lots and lots of animals, but they have quite a variety. And then they had a reptile area, and when we walked in, there was a sloth being introduced to on a talk, and a big tree in the middle of this talk area, and this sloth was hanging and just in sloth speed repositioning itself, moving one hand to another spot on the branch. Then it turned around, and it reminded me so much of Zootopia.
Yes!
So much.
Yes.
And I mean, they captured a sloth so perfectly on that little video.
Yes, that was hilarious.
So we watched that, and then the little... You came to mind as soon as we walked in the door because they had tamarin monkeys and the little tiny spidery monkeys with the... So they had two kinds, and all I was sitting there looking and would that fit under somebody's hair on the back of there? I was trying to think if one of those might be the one your mom had, but I can't remember.
Hers was a squirrel monkey.
A squirrel. Okay. That didn't come to mind.
Yeah.
But these were so cute. And Rick did this thing with one of them. It was so funny. It was sitting on a tree in the enclosure that it was in, and it was windows the whole way around and out to the exit. And Rick was standing there, and there was a beam in the window structure that he was kind of hiding behind. And this one monkey was watching him, and then it would turn away. And then it would turn back. So Rick leaned over, and as soon as it turned back, he pulled away. They started playing this game, and it went on for like 4 minutes. The monkey would flip, and then Rick would peek out, and then the monkey would turn real quick, and then Rick would hide. And it was so funny. I thought, oh my gosh, you think they just sit there and don't notice, but they do. They notice.
Yeah.
They notice everything.
Yeah.
I once had a monkey in the Columbus Zoo that was off by itself. I might have told this story once. I don't remember, but it was off by itself. And all the rest of the monkeys, these were like chimp monkeys, like large monkeys. And they were swinging. It was an enclosure that was big enough for them to swing. And this one monkey being off by itself just got my attention. So I went over to that side, and I was sitting there, and I was just talking to him, just looking at him. And he turned and he looked at me. And then he climbed to the top of the tree, and then he jumped at the plexiglass right in front of me, slammed the plexiglass, and then took off across the way. And I thought, holy cats, I guess I shouldn't have been in his space.
What did you say?
I just went, well, first of all, it scared me.
Oh, yeah.
And then I said, well, I guess I'm done visiting. And I went back around, and I thought, what I really ought to do is go around to the other side where he went to and go, nah. But I didn't. That's right, but I didn't. But man, it was loud. I mean, you'd have thought somebody threw a baseball against the glass. He slapped it down, and it was intent. I mean, there was no doubt it was intentional. It's like, take yourself and go.
Wow.
Yeah, they have they can be testy little guys.
Feisty.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, we did have a good time, and we spent the better part of the day. We thought maybe a few hours with the girls, timing wise. But it was so nicely laid out, and they had a nice eating area, so we had lunch. And we ended up staying until it closed, and we fed the giraffes.
Oh.
And that was an experience. I hadn't done that before. Their hair grows differently than a horse. You know, you pet a horse's nose down.
Yeah.
So I went to pet the giraffe because you could touch them when they came up to eat, and they have a long muzzle at the bottom where their nostrils are, which I didn't think it would be as big as it was once it was in front of me. And these weren't adults yet. These were like maybe young, would be like school age compared to adulthood. But I went to pet it, and its hair grows up its nose instead of down like a horse. So when I started to pet it, I thought, oh, I'm sorry, because I'm going completely against the grain on this poor guy's nose. But one of them was a thief. His name was Burkery. Something like that. And the other one was Tucker. Tucker was the older one, and according to them, didn't care about people, but he liked the food. So literally when the food was gone and nobody had it to give anymore, he'd beat feet back to the enclosure. He didn't even stay at the feeding podium. But the other one kept visiting everybody.
Okay.
But he's a thief, so you weren't supposed to have sunglasses on or have your purse on your shoulder or have a jacket over your arm, because he would grab it and go.
That's funny.
Yep. So, but that was a lot of fun, and we enjoyed that day. And then we had, we did swim again. And we did take one day off at home because the big girl said, could we just have a day where we don't do anything? It's like, I'm down for that. And we didn't go to our movie yet, so we're actually going to go see our movie tomorrow.
Okay.
We're going to go see the new Minion movie, Origins of Gru, I think it's called.
All right.
So that'll be the end of our holiday tomorrow.
All right.
We have a good time. We did hear from many of our viewers through comments and emails.
Yes. Thank you. Want to start?
Sure. I just wanted to touch base with Linda. She emailed and asked us about our petite needles. She said she'd been hunting them and looking for them. Linda, there are many brands of petites, but the ones we get most regularly are either by John James or Mary Arden. I'm sorry, not Martha, Mary Arden, Arden. And they both have a series of petites that correlate to 24, 26, and 28 size needles. So that's what we use. Local needlework shop, Colonial Needle sells John James, and I think they have the petites as well. So I'm sure if you were to just Google petite embroidery needles, it might come up for you. Kathy asked me about magna clips. Those are the clip-on magnifiers that I wear that come across the bottom of my lenses if I position them right. And she said she couldn't locate them, didn't know what the name of them was. We've shown them on Gadget Corner, and most of the floss friends people do ask about, and oftentimes I'll put the link in a floss friends video. But MAGNI, magna clips, 2 separate words, and if you put that on Amazon or just Google, all the places that sell them will come up. Everywhere from stationery stores to your large brick and mortar craft stores, they sell them now too. And don't forget your local needlework shops. Carol asked me, this was cute. She emailed us and said, I used to stitch all the time.
Yeah.
But then I fell away from it for various reasons. And then I was watching YouTube and I ran across FlossTube and found you. And you guys piqued my interest again. And and she said so many things that are new compared to when she was stitching, and she was tired of Ada. Now she knows there's linen, so all these transitions she's excited about. But she did ask, she made the observation that there are a lot of acronyms, and I thought, everywhere there's acronyms. And so she said she had just placed an order to get some things from a shop online, and she said, as she closed, she said, "Would that be my haul?" I had to laugh. Yes, it could be your haul. People call it different things, but haul is very prevalent. So yes,
that is funny.
For a lot of people say they're happy mail, they're stitchy mail. I just say woohoo when stuff comes in.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So thank you very
funny,
much
there are a lot of
for your emails.
Yes. Thank you very much for all your emails. I was just looking for one that I couldn't find. But Chrissy, she wanted to know on my phase 3 of my hometown holiday series that I'm doing, when I am alternating like the position of the schoolhouse and the car, the garage, just so that things look like they're setting back further, as opposed to it being up front in the stitching. Do I have to alter the design? Sometimes, yes, because, it depends. Sometimes I might get rid of some of the ground part of it. Sometimes I might be adding some space to the ground part before I get to the actual design of the house or the barn or the school, whatever it is, to make it look like it's sit back further. You can also, if it's snow that's on the ground and your snow starts heavier in the, at the bottom and then it gets more sparse, that also makes your eye think of that depth feeling. So that's kind of how I'm picturing it when I'm stitching it. Does that make any sense?
Yes, and I think as far as altering the design, the other thing you do often is you'll go from stitching 2/2 to over 1,
right?
To give it that distance and depth.
Yeah.
But like Deb does this with all of them, though, not just the ones she sets back. I mean, like she'll go to make a whole boardwalk or street out of them, and then she'll add things in between that weren't on the original pattern, or she'll move them. So
that's true. Yeah,
I think it's kind of a constant process in your hometown holidays.
Yeah. S. Oldfield, she wanted to know when I'm stitching on a large piece with sections that have backstitching, do I backstitch as I go or save it to the end?
Age-old question.
I do it. Yeah, it's personal preference. For me personally, I backstitch as I go because I love backstitching and I love that detail. It just brings everything to life right away. So I do it as I go. What do you do?
I do it as I go. It's not my favorite thing to do. It's very methodical, but I want to get the rest of the design done. But what I hate most is having the design done and then having to go back and add it all.
Didn't your mom do that?
Yes, Mom used to save it to the end.
I could not do that.
Yep, she waited till it was all done and then she went back because in her mind, that was the part that made it complete. So she waited and then actually used that as her finishing on her piece.
Okay.
So
well,
I could see her point there.
Yeah. And then someone else asked if I've ever used couching instead of backstitching. I have couched, but in my mind, they're two separate things. You're not going to couch when you're supposed to backstitch. If you have long stitches that need couched, that's
right.
But in my mind, that's two separate, things.
Now, if she was thinking, I've seen some people that since they don't care for backstitch, they'll lay a long stitch alongside of something and then couch it against their work. And I wonder if that's what she's thinking, like if you outline the whole house that way or something.
Yeah, and I had said if you have long stitches, you can couch those.
Yeah, I thought maybe you meant like if it called for a long stitch, but I was thinking maybe some people alter their backstitch style completely to lay a long stitch. I didn't know that was exactly what you meant.
Yeah. And if I cannot remember this, but Cindy wanted to know on my Stitch Everyday box, the hands-on design that I did on that box. She wanted to know if I took the glass out of the box when I mounted it. I cannot remember. I gave it away as a gift.
You mounted on top of the glass.
I did.
Pretty sure.
Okay, I mounted on top of the glass.
Now we'll get
I'm glad you know what I do.
We'll get an email from the person you gave that to, and they'll be saying, "No, I looked, and the glass is not there."
No, I do think you're right. Now it's kind of coming back to me. I think you're right.
Because
I
it's
don't
just
think
a hole. Otherwise,
yeah, and I do not remember taking it back or taking it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
think
didn't
you're right.
think you did, but
All right, yeah, I think so. Okay. All right. And I want to say a huge thank you to Angie. She sent this chart, and I love it. I do not have this one. Thank you. And it's called One Nation. I think that is very, very pretty, and I would like to stitch that.
wow.
Can you see that one? I think that's really cute. It has all of the states in it.
Is
Very
that what's
cool.
written on the stripes?
Yeah,
Oh,
isn't
okay.
that cool?
That is neat.
I like that.
I have never seen that.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. And I love how they
nice.
did the Quaker symbols as the stars.
I have another stitch pattern by her here today.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
So this is from ByGone Stitches, and yeah, that's really beautiful. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
So I did something else on my week away, Saturday. I went to, and are you through with your?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yep.
Didn't want to cut you off. I went to an event locally through Stitches Unlimited. It was called Sampler Saturday. And Barbara Hudson from Queenstown Samplers, she was there giving a talk on samplers. And then after her talk, we had a little piece to stitch. So it was a great time. There were about 45 ladies there. I tried to keep track of everybody that I greeted. And Peggy, Lisa, Sandy, Sue, Susan. Sue and Susan are best friends. Teresa, Rita, Chrissy, Kim, Donna, Barb, Jane. And that's all the names I could remember. All of you that I met, thank you very much. I enjoyed meeting all of you. It was great fun. And it was a fun day. Learned a lot about things about samplers in general, reproduction samplers especially. And there were 2 from Pennsylvania that were really interesting. And I'm not going to go back through all the details right now, but maybe some of it will come out. We're going to be talking about some samplers over time, and maybe some of that will come out in our discussion. But I wanted to show you just a little bit. This horn book was made by Steve. He made these for the day.
Nice.
He originally was a person that came into the shop. His mother stitches as well, and he was a viewer, and he was also, his God-given gift, I guess, is woodworking. He's incredibly talented with wood. And so he did these for everybody. And then there was a small pattern, a sampler that was done by Queenstown to put on there. I won't show you the design pattern because the only picture I have is the actual pattern. But I just wanted to show you what I'm going to change up here. The colors are, I can show you the 2 that I started with. And this is, I just was working on it while we were there. That border kind of goes around. It has 2 other flower colors and then the alphabets in the middle. So it's just a really small petite sampler. But they used DMC colors that were just really bold around the sampler. And I got home and I was getting ready to put it away, and I thought, you know what? I think I might change my colors up. So I poked my head in my silks, and I thought this would be a fun one to do for the kitchen, and paint the horn book and put it up in the kitchen. So I found a couple of blues to use on the flowers, and then this for the gold, kind of in that sort of French blue and yellow sort of theme, and that for the green that's in the stems. What do you think? Would that be? What do you think of those?
I can definitely see why you put those 2 together. They look beautiful. But to my eye, this has a lot of purple in it. Do you see any purple in that? Especially when you put that green next to it.
Okay. So you would go with...
And I love, this one's that's beautiful. That looks like your kitchen.
Okay.
And this green is beautiful.
Okay.
But this one to me just has too much purple.
Too much. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hence,
I would.
Hence the name, Purple Paradise.
Oh. But these definitely, you know, would look great in your kitchen.
Okay.
And then you could just maybe pick a little bit darker of like that blue.
Okay. Now, there's 1, 2, 3. Okay. So that would be the 3 flowers and then the green. And then I can just use any black or dark brown for the lettering.
Letters, yeah.
I think that covers all the colors then. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, if you just choose one more.
Just
or just do
substitute
all
for
of the
this guy.
flowers in this, because this is
I
variegated.
wondered since it was variegated. I thought about that.
I would do it like this.
Just do the whole thing.
Yes,
in that
I
one.
would,
Okay.
because your flowers then are going to change as they go, because
Okay.
of there's variegation in this silk.
Yeah.
From light to medium. So I would do that if I were you. I think that'd be beautiful. And I like those together.
So you want
want
to hold those up, and then that'll be what we'll substitute for. And it's just it's a cute little pattern.
Yeah. Now,
And
what
I like the
fell? Do
little
I need to
horn
pick
book.
something up over there?
I think that
Is it important?
I heard it, but don't see it.
Okay.
I doubt it was important.
Do you want to put this in there so we don't lose it?
That's weird. I don't see anything.
Okay.
So you know what?
All right.
I know what it is.
What?
It's not important.
Okay, good.
It's the finishing pieces that go on something I'm going to show you in a little while. It was a plastic. Oh, I see it now. Little plastic box that I had them stuck in. That took a dive. So anyway, that was a lot of fun, and I wanted to just also bring up one more thing here while we're talking about samplers. And this book called Historic Samplers is really nice. It was sent to us by Flo, and I wanted to thank Flo for sending it along. We're going to enjoy looking through this, and then we're going to share some things from this as well. This was put out as a collection of the Essex Institute in Salem, Massachusetts.
Cool.
Yes, and I did learn on Saturday how much information there can be in a sampler.
Yeah.
If you know what the motifs stand for and where it's from and the time period. So that was interesting. And we went to a woman's house with Pat and the people at Stitches Unlimited before I started helping at the shop, and it was to Betty's house, and she's just an incredible sampler stitcher. And she's a machine. She puts them out so quickly, and they're gorgeous. And she told us so much about it, and she stitches as she stitches them, she learns about them, and had beautiful coffee table books about the different origins of the samplers. It was just a fantastic afternoon.
Amazing.
So I'm starting to build my knowledge base of samplers, because up until the last probably 6 years, the only thing I knew about them is that they generally contained an alphabet or a sampling of motifs, but I didn't know about the
That's one thing that
history.
was fun when I stitched that around the world sampler, because as you're stitching it, you're learning why you're putting those stitches in.
And I think that'll be a good resource for our talks too, because they gave us so much information in that piece.
Yeah.
So
Very
anyway,
cool.
so that was my other holiday
Very, very cool.
activity. Before we move on to work, I wanted to just make a note that we have two things going on right now. We hit 24,000 subscribers, and we wanted to thank you very much.
Thank you.
And if you aren't subscribed, please do. We don't want you to miss out. But we were going to give away a FOP for our 24,000 subscribers. And as I thought about that, it occurred to me that we announced that on our Floss Friends video, not in our normal format. So I wanted to give everybody a chance that watches our normal formats, maybe not so much our Floss Friends, to get involved on this giveaway. And then I thought, you know what, with that many subscribers, maybe we should give away 2. So I'm going to do 2. So we will combine the people who commented on the last video with whoever comments on this video. So you don't need to submit another comment. I won't duplicate entries. And then if you would like to, and you would like a peyote fob, please enter a comment on this video and include the word fob.
Yep.
And then the second note is also similar in nature. The people who are viewing from China, which was the first location we chose in our
second location.
Was it the second one? Oh, that's right. The first one was Hawaii. That was funny. So what we're going to do is extend that also to this video, so that people watching this formatted video can also enter. So if you are watching from China and you would like to be considered for the giveaway, please make a note using the word China in this video as well. And again, if you already did, you don't need to do it twice.
Yep.
So there we go.
All right, business concluded.
Concluded.
All right.
What are you working on?
So
She's got a stack over here. I thought I got a lot of work done, and I'm looking at this, and she was on vacation, for crying out loud.
yeah, and you know, I hardly stitched. Now, the first day we were there, it rained. I did stitch a little bit then.
Okay.
But other than that, I tried to sit down a little bit once in a while. And it was funny because there was a corner of the living room. So I was back there. And if I could get this out for a few minutes before I would head down to the beach, Matt's bugging me on my phone. You coming? You coming? You coming? I'm like, yes, Matthew, I'm coming. I would sit over there and stitch because there's just gorgeous light coming in and all this. And next to me, my niece likes to do surface embroidery. So she was doing a little embroidery piece. And then my mother-in-law was crocheting. So it was so funny
Craft
because
corner.
That's exactly right. We got known as the craft corner.
There you go.
It's cute. Anyway, I will show you this first. I took this along on vacation. I did not touch it on vacation because I really have to concentrate on this piece. This is one of the pieces from Jeanette Douglas. When we did her, when
Spotlight.
we showcased Jeanette Douglas a couple videos ago, I had gotten out this pattern and, you know, just was thinking, why am I not stitching this? Well, I got it all together so I could do it. And this is the one corner called Summer by the Sea. And this is the corner I'm starting on. And I will show you the entire pattern because Jeanette was very sweet to send it to me, send a picture to me in my Instagram. And it's a beautiful, beautiful pattern. But I really do have to pay attention because there's different stitches, a lot of counting. And I just didn't, you know, with that many people in the house.
Distractions, yeah.
I knew that was not going to be something I could just do. So this is what the design will look like when it is fully finished. It's very, very, very pretty. So each corner is a season. And I have the thread packs for all of the seasons. Again, this is by Jeanette Douglas, and the patterns are called Summer by the Sea. So you would need 4 patterns to complete it as a whole. But you could also just do each season or a season if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. You'll be cute.
What?
If you just did each corner as a small and put it in a dough bowl, like a little set of pillows,
yeah.
that would be cute, wouldn't
it? So you got something in your throat? You okay? Do you need a drink, Liz?
Yes.
So this is my huge start, but I'm so glad I got it started. I started with the satin stitches here along the border, and then I'm doing some of the back stitching for the vine up top. So no cross stitches yet, but like I said, she has some fun stitches in. This fabric,
I'm gonna peek. I'll let you keep the white one for your next show.
Very, very pretty. And I know we said what it was that I was using last time.
I love that. Isn't this?
I know.
Sea foam? Sea? I don't know.
Could be.
I'm
I'll
guessing.
find it. But what I'm doing is I did get her thread pack. So this is for the summer. And what I did was on the back, I wrote all of the names of the threads and put a number next to it. So it corresponds with the number on the front. So I know which thread to choose. And these actually were from Market. Lila Studio had these as little giveaways. But that comes in really handy because these are all the threads listed. This is the pack that it comes in, and I also have a charm back there and some beads that'll go on this piece. But these are just the colors for the summer side of it, and then I'll just start getting out the threads as I go. I didn't want to do them all at once, you know, and get them all out because then I'm just going to confuse myself.
Right.
So I'll finish up these before I get my other threads ready to go.
Star Sapphire.
Yeah?
I think so. That's what it says on your paper anyway.
I knew you cheated somehow, and I'm like, okay, I know she saw that. Where did she see that? Because there's no way you're pulling that one out. So,
I will next time. Next time I'll remember.
Is 32 count Star Sapphire. That's what I'm...
Where'd you pull that from, Deb?
It's all up there.
Trapped.
Oh, that's so funny. All right, so I had that in my bag. Oh, by the way, darn it, I should have brought it to show you. I got the cutest beach bag.
Did you?
To put my stitching in to take.
Fun.
The outside of it, I found it at the Hallmark store. And at the on the outside of it, it's fabric. It has like a map of all of the beaches.
Oh, neat.
Avalon's even on there.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got this down there?
No, I got it here before we left.
No kidding.
Yeah, but I have to show it to you. It's really
Yeah.
cute.
You want me to pop this back in there?
Yes, please. All my stitching fit very nicely in it. So this is the one I did work on, this one there, that I was telling you about. It was a beach themed stitch that I have not worked on or touched in a very long time.
Oh, yes. This one was what I was thinking when you said you were pulling this one out. I'm thinking beach, and then I realized it was that one.
So this is a 12-part series, and it is by the Bay Needle Art. That is the name of the designer. And when it first came out, it was a mystery. So you would get part 1 and work your way down to part 12. By the time I got into it, the mystery was solved and I had all 12 parts.
There was no mystery.
Yes. This is a picture. It's very well loved. So of what the entire design will look like when it's finished. And it's just so adorable. I love the colors. I love that scene. I fell in love with it. And then I put it away and didn't touch it forever. And I'll tell you why. Usually you can figure out if you put something away, when you get it back out, what it was that either bothered you or you had a mistake or, do you know what I mean?
Usually, but I have run across those ones where you get it out and you think, why did I put this away?
Well, yeah, okay. So up here in the very top, you can see how faded and how light the sun is and the birds, right? So, and this was all for DMC. I did change the colors of the water because when I'm stitching the water, I wanted it to look like there was movement in the water. So those two colors I did change. So I started at the top on this one and working my way down. And this is what I have so far. And if you can see, the sun is still very light, but I did add another row of darker yellow to it to kind of make it stand out a little more. And then for my birds, I did change their colors a little bit, and I backstitched and I added some extra little stitches to kind of give some shading, to their wings so that it made them stand out a little more because they just were not showing very well. Then I added some backstitch to the lighthouses, the other houses, because again, for some reason that was just bothering me and I thought it looked better when they were backstitched. And this is what I was telling you about with the water. There's two different colors in the water, and I wanted to have it look like it had movement in the water, and I'll let you know what those two colors are, but that's what I have so far. Most of it is stitched 2/2. That's not true. Most of it is stitched 1/2. However, I do have some other colors like the darker brown. I didn't want to see the fabric through it, so I am stitching that 2/2. Some of the other green. There's some French knots in the little bushes there.
And did you get to work on that one this time?
I did.
Yeah?
Yes, I did. Also, okay, so why I put it away. This outline, this backstitched line that kind of goes all the way around it, I was lazy when I was doing that, and I did not backstitch it correctly. I would do a stitch of like 4 threads and then 5, and then, I mean, I just, because I thought, you're not going to notice it. Well, after I got a lot of that done, I thought to myself, that does drive me crazy.
I do notice it.
I do notice that. So I ripped all that out and then just did it correctly, like I should have in the first place. And then, like I said, once I started adding some of those details, like the back stitching to it, I really did start to fall back in love with it, so that's been a lot of fun. This is on 40 count something. I'll try
Almost looks like
try to find it. There's no variegation to this fabric, and it is wonderful. I mean, I love stitching on it. I'll try to find what color that is, maybe when Liz is going through her stuff. But that was fun. Then I got some work done on my All Creatures Great and Small. I did a little bit of this in the car on the way down in the truck because we had a 7-hour drive. On the way home, it was a lot longer than that,
Isn't
actually.
that 40 count?
This one? This one's 40.
You can do that in the car?
Yeah,
I think I would have trouble in the car.
Well, I did this in certain sections, like when we got to North Carolina and we actually crossed into the island, it was just, you were crawling.
Okay.
So honestly,
You didn't have a lot of bumping around.
Yeah, no, you were barely moving. That's when I could do this.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show you the other piece that I worked on for the other parts of it. But I got a lot done on this. I got that whole house filled in.
Ooh, pretty.
Thank you. So cute. And more of the
I like
hill.
the walkway too.
And that was really neat. So this is All Creatures Great and Small by Barbara Anna Designs, and this is where I am. 40 count. Help me out, Liz. 40
Vintage
count
mocha.
vintage country mocha. So I got that house done there and more of the hill.
Question.
Yes.
The circle, you know where the...
Yes.
Okay. What would you call that on patterns? What would you refer to that circle as?
I don't know. I never
Circle,
thought of it.
right? That's me. I learned that...
Circle.
It's me. It's just a circle. That brown thing in the middle. No, Barbara refers to those as like a cartouche.
I was just saying that in my head.
Yep. And so she
Cartouche.
kept saying that, and I kept looking, going, yeah, I can see that. I don't know why it never came to my mind before.
Yeah.
So that
And I
was
will
fun.
be putting an E in there, but I just haven't done that yet. So this was
That's
fun.
easy for you to say.
Yeah, right. So
Don't
that
forget your
got worked on. Oh,
your
thank
nest and your skizzers.
you. My nest. Okay. Do you mind sticking that in
No,
there for
ma'am.
me? Thank you.
Not at all.
Thank you.
Help the cause.
This was my actual vehicle as we're driving stitching. This is Flea Market Flowers by Fat Quarter Shop. I did take away the pinks and I exchanged the pinks for different shades of oranges. I wanted it to look more earthy, and my fabric is also more of an earthy color. And the fabric is Belfast 32 count prairie grass. So this is what I have so far. And this I was able to work on easily in the vehicle.
I love that fabric.
Thank you. Yeah, it is really a pretty color. Okay. And one more that I worked on is the Prim Stitch series, and this is number 8 of 12, called Pleasant and Gentle. But if you remember, if you watched before, there are 12 patterns that complete this as a whole. I am going to stitch 9 of them, so that's why I am putting number 8 in actually number 6's spot. And this is what I have so far. So I wanted to have the little girl and her blue outfit kind of mirroring the boy over here. So that's what I have there. This is stitched over 1 with 1 strand of the Aura floss in the Prim series colors. You can get that from Fat Quarter Shop, and it is wonderful to work with. And so this is what I have so far. This is 25 count Prim Lugana.
The dress is really looking nice.
Isn't that cute?
Yep.
This is fun. And that was all my works.
That's a lot of stitching.
That's
especially
it.
with everything else you got going on. It was a busy time.
I'm throwing thread all over the place.
So I did two crafty things while it was the holiday. One was the Saturday sampler that I told you about, the lecture and the little activity in the afternoon. The other one was the girls wanted to do something. I forgot about what we did on the weekend. They wanted to do something crafty, and for months we've been talking about going down to the beadworks in Lancaster and making something.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I thought, well, Sunday was the holiday weekend where we weren't going to come to the pool that weekend, and I thought, you know what? That'd be a good Sunday activity.
Yeah.
Rick was gone. Carrie said, you know, girls and I are going to be fine here. So we went down, and they each made a necklace, a bracelet, and I made one too. And it was fun doing the beading, and it was just pretty straightforward stringing and then putting the attachments on the ends. But that was the fun part was just seeing everything they had, letting the girls pick it out, lay it out, have fun with it. And it was just a good time. But I was poking around because the ladies who work there are also very creative, and they have cabinets where they display what they've made and they sell them too. So I saw several peyote pieces, so I was looking at their peyote stuff and looking around. They sell a pair of earrings, peyote earrings.
Wow.
They're about this long. The very top of it looks just like the top of one of my fobs. You know, it's just a triangular stitch with fringe about that long. And these were just simple green and white.
Wow.
$80 is what those sold for. Wow. I thought, oh my word. That, to me, that seemed like a lot of money for those earrings. I mean, not that they weren't
like
pretty.
Swarovski crystals and stuff in it? Like expensive?
All delicate beads,
really?
the whole thing. I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah, you could start making your own earrings there, girlfriend. I mean,
it was just, I thought to myself, that just surprised me. But again,
not everyone can do it.
Right. So, and you're in a crafty environment, and your business is making things and selling them. So I get that.
Yeah.
But one of the things they had that I had not seen yet is called the Peyote Stitch Companion.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet
It'd
you
be
were
my
so
first
happy.
little book. I was. And I started looking at it, and it reminded me so much of my cross stitch Bible.
Yeah.
By Jane Greenoff. Every page has information. So this is going to be one of those reads where I do cover to cover because it's got so much in it. But the very first section, I learned something. The woman who wrote this is Melinda Barta. She is the editor for Beadworks magazine.
Oh.
So she's got some clout there, you know. She got some cred. But just the very first part of it talks about the numbering of the beads and the sizes and what they are. And I didn't realize that an 11 or an 8 or a 7 size bead, their best understanding for why it's numbered is that when you lay them side by side, it equals 1 inch with 11 or 7 or 8 of those beads. So I guess it's like a size reference as well as what the coverage of them would be. So that was really neat. So I was looking through it going, okay, well, for the first page, I already learned something. I got to get the book. And then they go into talking about how they're cut and how they come from the Czech Republic and what they look like there, and then the ones from Japan. So it's just going to be a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
So I'll share some tips from this with you, but I'll put a link to this in the description box if you want to look for a book if you're doing peyote.
I can't believe you haven't seen that before.
Nope. Wow. Well, how many places have I been that actually has a section on that, though? I think Beadworks is the only real beading place I've been. I went to the one in Arizona with my sister, remember, when I first started doing peyote, and I picked up the beads to do a second piece. And that shop closed. And the very next time I went back, I couldn't revisit it. So I don't know if they would have had things like that. I did buy a lot of different colored beading thread at that shop that I hadn't seen before. But
very cool.
That was fun. And a nice start to the holiday with, well, it's always nice to start by spending money. It's even more fun if it's on something you enjoy doing. So, all right, so here we go. I also decided that on this holiday, I was going to have something to commemorate our vacation.
Aww.
You ready?
Did you stitch a sloth?
No. No, but I stitched like a sloth. Okay, so I took a class by Erica. Well, no, I bought the class supplies from the Jamboree where Erica Michaels taught. So this was the content of it. I showed the picture of the fob quite a while ago when I was showing some things.
Look at you.
I know, right? These are the colors. They're just simple, and they're used on the fob. And there's another needle book that goes with this. So there's a color in this that we didn't use in this project. Okay. But that's the color palette. But this will be a strawberry.
Oh,
I'm all done with the stitching.
Cool. Oh, it's beautiful.
Borrow your little paper.
Oh, yeah.
So what I did, just for fun, because I thought, you know, I want to stitch during the holiday, but it's got to be something that I can do quickly because we're busy all day. So I started with, let's see, I have to do this backwards. So I started with the crab. He was Sunday. Then Monday I did the sun and the star, then the bird, then I did the lettering, I think was Thursday. Then Friday I did the wave, and then Saturday I finished with the 2 little flourishes, and then the little part here that I added. And that is my initials, and then 7/22 for July of 2022.
Yay.
So this little strawberry will hang
so
on my
cool.
tree, and it'll
That's cool.
remind me of all of our activities from the week.
Nice.
So that was fun.
That is so cute.
I don't often think that far in advance. So, so that was cool.
And I like that you put it in your little
Yes,
beach bag.
I got
That's
my
so
little
cute.
beach bag from Fat Quarter Shop that had the same. I put that in the wrong place though. All right, so that was fun. Yeah, it made me feel summery.
Yeah.
Oops, left you out. So then I went on to, let's see, where is, there we go. Okay, so I worked on my Quaker Star from Jeanette Douglas. I'm doing the small pillow here. And I got another star done and another section of the outlining.
Yeah.
So that's 40 count, I think. It's a little smaller than what she did hers on, but that's okay. So I like that.
Yeah.
Did a little work on that. But that was the last thing I worked on during the week because I was busy working on this pattern. This was mini Quaker Stitches, and I was, whoops, humming along on that. I'm losing all my floss. And that again is a Jeanette Douglas pattern. And that one, drum roll. Where's my paper?
Yep.
Is done.
Oh, looky. Aww.
Didn't that come out pretty?
Yes.
So
very
I have to
pretty.
think about what I want to do to finish it.
Very pretty.
How I want to finish it is probably a better way to put it.
Very pretty.
That was a lot of fun. I think I was just finished with this flower when I showed it last, maybe the top of that thistle. And so I finished the bottom part. And I played around a little bit with the, I just want to show one thing here on the vase. I took the vase at the bottom that was all cross stitched. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I substituted some elongated stitches vertically and horizontally just to make it a little more textured and give it a little more, I don't want to say business, but yeah, sort of, just a little bit more fun. And so I changed that up, and I think that was the only thing. Oh, the 2 stars at the bottom, these were just outlined. These 2 light blue ones on either side were just outlined motifs, and I wanted them to stand out a little more. So instead of using 1 strand and outlining them, I used 2, and then I made sure that they were laying side by side and gave it more of a filled in look. So they're not cross stitched, but they're outlined. And they're just done with 2 threads. So I gave them a little more texture on that, but the rest of it was all just cross stitch. So that little guy was fun.
Very cute. I like that green fabric.
I do too, and that's that one from my stash that we can't remember the name of, but.
Beautiful.
And then I did start this pin cushion. I didn't get very far.
No?
No, it was one of those nights where I just had a little time. So I did the berries in the middle. When I say I didn't get very far, I meant I didn't get very far. But, okay, so first you have to see this so you know what I actually stitched. So that's the pin cushion I picked up. And then...
You should have sent me a picture of guess what I'm stitching.
I should have. And those are the 3 berries. But what I'm learning is if I have time to do 20 stitches, that's 20 stitches I didn't get done, right? So, or wouldn't have gotten done. So I have been trying to just take every opportunity with a couple of minutes so that I know what's sitting by the chair now, and I have it out and I can get to it and work on it. And then I worked on one last little thing here, which I have sitting around and pulled out. And I had told you I had another pattern like the one you had, and this is by ByGone Stitches as well. That's a Quaker Christmas.
So pretty.
And I'm doing it out of flower thread instead of the overdyed floss that they used. And I finished the bottom, another, let's just see. I think that's the end of it. Yeah. So that's as far as sorry, I didn't know if I went over the fold on that or not. So what I finished this time was the last row of Quaker Stitches down here, and then I filled in, I had forgotten to fill in these little motifs in the other one. So I filled those in and I finished that section there.
Pretty.
And it's going to be fun. I'm going to do some other colors now because we're coming up on some red.
Okay.
So that'll be neat. And I think I'm going to stick to that top quadrant for now and work through that and then move on farther down the fabric.
Yeah.
I thought
it's a big piece.
it is. And I'll tell you why I went to flower thread. Initially, it was economy because 20 skeins of overdyed floss was what they required for the green. And I thought, wow, that's a lot. And we were living in Illinois at the time, and it was hard to find 6 skeins of one color in overdyed, let alone 20 skeins. And I know about the dye lots, and I didn't want to mix those up too much. But then I remembered my flower thread. And so I looked it up online, and I found somebody who had a big box, a 2,500 or something like that. I don't know if it was a box, but they had a stash of it. So I got this color online, and I calculated it based on the amount of floss that you get when you strand the 6th strand and what it called for. And I came up with the total number of yards I would need, and then the flower thread is 21 yards total per skein, and you use just 1 strand. But you have 8 yards of cotton floss, 8.7 roughly, 5 if it's overdyed, only 5 yards, and that's 6 strand. So you get 3 strands basically out of that 5, so you get 15 full yards, and this is 21. So I did the calculations and came up with what I needed and picked up the gold and the red also online. And these are the other 2 colors that will accentuate the green. So that's the whole palette right there. And that should be it. That should do it by the time I'm done.
Wow.
But I got a lot of thread to work through.
There you go. Yeah.
But it's really pretty. I love that piece.
Now, I thought you were doing an overdyed because of the
I
different
know.
greens.
And that's the thing that struck me. There is a change in the dye lot in the flower thread that makes it look sort of primitive, huh?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, so I'm making sure that I pull different greens and work with them
Okay.
so that I can spread that out a little
That's
bit.
what when you were saying, I'm thinking, wait a minute. I know I saw
You're
a change.
fibbing. It's overdyed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
It is hard to tell when you're looking at the skeins themselves, but then as you stitch, you can see the change in the color.
Very cool.
So that's what I played with.
Very, very cool.
We can do a subscriber giveaway pretty soon.
Yeah, it's going to go off in about 20 seconds.
Oh, good timing. Perfect.
That worked out very well.
Yes, it did. And then I'll show that finished guy after we're done.
I know, that is super cute. I like that a lot. All right, well, we'll go ahead and do this, and it'll go off in just a few seconds. But we want to say thank you so much to all of our subscribers. Yes. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button. And there we go. The only thing you have to do to enter to become hopefully a winner in the subscriber tribute is to subscribe and be publicly subscribed. So we want to say a huge thank you to 2 specific subscribers. Would you like to hold those
Surely.
2 up, please? And so our first one today is Deb Stempek, Stempek. You'll be getting
this Prairie Schooler Santa. This one is year 2021, last year's. And they come out right at the holidays, so this is the most current one.
Yeah, I love that.
And this one is Be Merry All
La-di-da.
by La-di-da.
Yes. And I also want to say huge thank you to Debbie Shaw. She sent us an amazing box of a lot of patterns that we could use to look through for ourselves and also for giveaways. So these are all courtesy of Debbie.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deb.
Our next subscriber is Grandma Starbucks. I thought that was so
Isn't that
cute.
funny?
Yes. And the first one is a Little House Needleworks ABC. I stitched this a long time ago.
Yes.
That is a really cool, fun pattern. And then the next one you'll be getting is a hands-on design pattern, and it is called, it's a block party pattern, and it's called Mend.
And those pins there you can get from Just Another Button Company.
Yeah. So that's fun. So thank you very much. If you can get a hold of me, my email address is in our Dropbox section, description box, and you can email me and I'll get your address and get those out to you.
Yes.
We also had this pattern last time, and you're supposed to, if you're interested in receiving this one, you were supposed to put the word sampler in your comment. This is the Sampler Company. It is designed by Brenda Keys, and the winner for this one is Lisa Dunham, Dunham. So thank you very much.
And you did say in the description box is the information they need
Yes.
to catch you.
Yes.
All right. So the last thing I wanted to share was just a piece I was going through. Where this week after our vacation is going to be clean the house week.
Oh, fun.
Yes, we're going to get ready. Well, school is around the corner. That's scary. I know, but you don't have anybody coming up in that category this year. I'm sitting here thinking, how did this change so dramatically? So,
I'm so excited.
and I'm just thinking, oh, I'm going to get through fall. So I thought about that, and I thought if we get everything cleaned out, taken care of, get organized, get clothes done, we'll know what we need, and we'll be on top of it. So we're just starting a little bit early here.
That's good.
So in the craft room, where I actually do have some say over what goes where, I was putting some things away, and I ran across this. I had already stitched it. It's the bird cage by Just Nan. I got this quite some time ago when I lived in Illinois. It came out in I guess I lived here. It must have been right after I moved.
Yeah, because that's
2010. Yeah. So within a year. Oh, I do remember now. Salty Yarns, the first jamboree.
Ah.
That's where I got this. So I finished all the stitching. That's the front of the needle book. It's actually more of a little project, but it's got a place for like your little tins and things inside. Cute. And a thread winder, and those things are now on the floor in front of the table. That's what slipped off, but they were made specifically for this. Cute. And I think okay, so you can kind of get an idea. That's the tin that's down there, and then there is a needle threader, which is this bird, and then this charm and pin, and then the ribbon I think is in there as well, because it all came as a kit. So then the inside,
oh my gosh,
looks
so cute,
just like it did on the picture, but those are the birdies on the inside. It was really fun to stitch on this Newport fabric. Yeah, I had not really done anything on this Newport before. So now I just need to either commit to putting it together by hand, which is what I do most things with, or clear off a side of the counter and see if I can't get my sewing machine set up.
Yeah, and I hope they were able to see, but she has beads on here.
Yes. And
they look like little flowers and everything. They're so cute.
That was the last part. They are really cute, and
very.
They make the center of all those little flowers, and then they add them to the intersections of the Newport fabric too.
Those are so cute. Love that. Very cool.
So hopefully that'll come back a little different fashion.
Yeah.
One that's actually functional.
Oh,
that was about it on my stack and yours, huh?
That was it.
We appreciate you joining us. We want to remind you to take a minute, use the link in our description box to go visit Ana Luisa's if you haven't been out there and you want to see some great summer specials.
Yes.
And we'll be back again soon.
Yes.
And as always,
share the joy of needlework. See you soon.
Bye-bye.